I'm just gonna. There's gonna be no. You know what? You guys just follow my lead.
We're doing a lot.
Right.
Well, welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
This is Chris.
This is the Jedi Enclave presents. This is podcasting podcast. We are also here. We've now become a podcast that has the producer of the show, but it also says things sometimes. You know how like the really cool podcasts always have like a producer that has like
that's
the
me.
like the guy back there that says some shit sometimes. You're only doing this as long as we're doing House of the Dragon, though.
That's fine.
Then you're kicked off the show, Matt. This is our weekly podcast about. I'm not even gonna lie this week and say it's about Star Wars because this week it literally has nothing to do with Star Wars. However,
turns out there's not a lot of Star Wars happening.
yeah, but there in a couple of weeks though, the new Star Wars anime is coming out.
Oh yeah, the Ninth Jedi.
Yeah, and so like we'll be watching the fuck out of that, obviously. And then I think probably when X-Men 97.
97.
Yeah. When X-Men 97 wraps up, we'll probably do a season retrospective because I keep finding myself like a week behind on that because I'm watching so many shows right now. Like, John and I are watching the new season of Silo. Matt and I are watching Silo, but earlier. Me and Matt and Joe are watching Severance.
Okay.
We're obviously watching House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And so my capacity for TV shows for the first time in my life is like pretty full. So I found myself kind of like behind on X-Men. So I think when that finishes, we'll do like a whole season. Like, we'll chat about it and everything. Then we'll be talking about the Star Wars thing when it comes out.
Yeah, X-Men is fun.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far.
I think I've said this before. It's nothing that's gonna like radically reshape your view of the world or how you think of TV or anything. But it's just a fun, well-made show.
It's not meant to do that.
I don't think
Like
it is.
they're just like it's a fun animated show that reminds you of watching X-Men when you were a kid.
Yeah, it is a successor to a literal Saturday morning cartoon.
However, this is a good springboard getting into the discussion today. We're going to spend a little bit of time on a couple of things that aren't House of the Dragon. And X-Men 97 is relevant right now because it's a good springboard into the first real trailer that we've gotten for Avengers Doomsday. Which came out
opens with a shot of the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters,
right? And then we see we see Professor X and Magneto together. We're not doing a frame by frame for this, but if you are a fan of the X-Men, this is the event. This finally the Marvel side and the Fox X-Men side has come together officially.
Even after all these years, it's still. It still does something to me to see fucking Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen together.
Do they exist as old gay men to you, like a gay couple in your head canon? Because they do for me, and I'm so happy for them.
The actors or the characters? Because I think you can make
the
an
characters
for either of them.
The characters, yeah.
There is definitely a homoerotic undercurrent.
Well, because Patrick Stewart's straight, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously Ian McKellen isn't. He's like one of the gayest British men ever.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about this? Because I understand everyone's excitement and everything, but there's also a part of me that's kind of apprehensive. When we were watching Severance last night, my buddy Joe is really excited, and I think he's going to come and see it with us when it comes out in December. But I don't know. What do you tell me what you guys think first, and then I'll piss in everyone's cereal.
It makes me think, number one, that Marvel and Disney are still very preoccupied trying to recapture the lightning in a bottle that was Endgame.
Endgame, yeah, totally.
And
agree.
Number two, it reminds me of a bunch of kids mashing all their action figures together from completely different properties and things.
Well, which by the way,
this be cool?
I think that's a design and not a bug, right? I think that's kind of like the point of it.
I mean, that was kind of what made Endgame good, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Matt,
Well, well,
are
it
you
was one aspect of the many things that made Endgame good.
True. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you? I can't remember. Are you like a big Marvel fan? Have you seen all the Marvel movies?
Because if you haven't, you're clearly a fake fan.
Yeah, or at least some of them. Have I surprised you with this question so thoroughly that you're like trying to muster up the courage to answer it?
I think he's just stepped away for a moment or
Oh,
something.
you guys are asking me. My headset
Yes.
cut out for a second.
Well, your
I have
name is
seen
your
not
name
all
is.
the Marvel movies. No, I have not,
Oh,
but
okay.
I've seen pretty much all of them.
I don't know. Are you the audience for this trailer? Are you the one that's really excited about this, like Joe is?
I am very excited, but kind of like what Chris said with the whole lightning in the bottle thing. It's Endgame left a big footprint, and
That they have not adequately filled, and I don't think that they
yeah,
can. We talked a little bit about this last night, but you know what I'm getting really tired of is, first of all, I had to laugh at the opening of this, which was like, I don't know exactly what he said, but the general gist is there's an evil coming. Do you feel it? It's like the beginning of that Force
Yeah.
Awakens trailer when it first came out back in
Yeah.
2011.
There has been an
Awakening. Right. And then the other thing is, in a lot of these movies nowadays, there are two legacy characters, which Cap and Thor are at this point. They are legacy characters.
Yes.
You know, grasping arms, fucking Predator, style, and being like, one last ride. But like, it's like their fourth last ride,
Yeah.
and it's like, just fucking die already, so we can add some more characters.
They tried to
Yeah,
send Steve
I know.
Rogers to the past and then
I
have
know.
him be old man Steve.
No. I agree.
Day.
You are correct, and I know that the Russo brothers intended that to be the last time we ever saw Captain America. But I think
Steve Rogers, not Captain America.
Right. Yeah, correct. And so I think that even the most staunch Marvel fan will admit that the quality of films has, since Endgame, has been kind of all over the place. Like there's even like, I like some of the quote unquote bad stuff. Even like, I like the Marvels, even though it wasn't a great movie. But everyone's just like, can you make Endgame again? Because we really liked that. We liked that one, and they're like, we're trying, guys. We're trying so hard. So
the
I don't
only
know.
high quality thing we've gotten is like WandaVision or
Agatha all along. So
yeah,
some of those Disney
exactly.
Plus shows have been like fire. Like they've been really, really good. I don't know. I'm also really, and even still, and this is like I think at least a year or two after they've announced it, I'm still weirded out by the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that's so weird to me. I'm sure they're gonna have some explanation.
I'm really hoping
plausible or not depends on you, but
yeah, I'm hoping that deep down they're like, we got to get Robert Downey Jr. back in this somehow, and he doesn't want to do Iron Man anymore, so I don't know, what do we got for him? Because like we need him to bring the fucking dough in, and they're like, Doctor Doom, and then like Kevin Feige's like, sold.
I wonder if this happened because Marvel went to Robert Downey Jr. like, we need you back in the universe. We know you don't want to be Iron Man. Pick a character, we'll make it happen. And he said Doctor Doom.
Yeah, or like he was the one that chose it. Maybe
I don't think that's what actually happened, but in my head,
it'd be
I'm
pretty
choosing
funny
to believe.
Yeah. I don't know. I do know famously Robert Downey Jr. hated wearing the like the suit for it, and so they're like, we'll just make it CG because he didn't like wearing all the shit for it. I don't know. Another big thing happened there right after that. I think today.
It was today.
Yeah. The new Spider-Man.
A brand new day.
The final trailer as it's billed.
Because that movie's coming out in like 2 weeks or something.
Yes, which we'll be seeing and reviewing. You know what we didn't see on our movie list was the Odyssey.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I don't know if I have it in me to sit through a 3-hour movie right now. If I'm
3
being
hours
honest.
of peak Christopher Nolan.
Yes, and I get it. Like, it's probably a stunning cinematic experience. And
but
I
only
love
if you see it in the fucking 70-inch IMAX.
that's the thing.
There's only like a dozen theaters
Right.
even show in the entire U.S.
I don't know, guys. Don't kill me for this, but I think I'm just gonna wait till it comes out on digital to watch it. Ethan Boy says, "Hi, good morning. What do what?
It's morning where you are, so good morning.
Yeah, good morning. By the way, this is a live show, so if you wanna chime in with some thoughts and some insights on what we're talking about at any given time, please do, and I'll try to be good about reading the comments as we go along. But yeah, we got the final trailer for Spider-Man, the last one, I think it's called.
Someone else pointed this out to me, but isn't it weird that like we've gotten to the final trailer and we have no idea who the big bad of this movie is?
It's Sadie Sink. It's got to be, right?
I mean, maybe
isn't she in this?
She?
She is, and she did a video or an advertisement not too long ago, basically teasing who she's gonna be, but not revealing it at all.
Okay, but like through all these trailers, we've had what? Punisher. We've had the ninjas. We've had the Hulk. Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion's in it.
And like none of those really strike me as being like the villain.
Yeah, they're like a couple. I mean, Punisher isn't gonna be a villain to Spider-Man anyway, but like Scorpion's a part of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. We've already had Mysterio, So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Maybe I don't know. It does almost certainly appear to be Tom Holland's last Spidey flick, and I know that a lot of people are wondering whether or not Peter Parker dies in this movie. I think we knew that Hulk was going to be in it, but we saw more of him in this trailer. Looks like Professor Banner or Professor Hulk is no longer an option to Bruce Banner, and Hulk has just taken over again. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's this is one of those Marvel things where I think all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies have been really solid so far. And so this, like, I'm pretty jazzed about this one. I think I'm really excited about it. Also, Tom Holland is a very handsome man, and I enjoy looking at him. So
I will not take that away from you.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be seeing that when that comes out as well. So is there? I don't think there's anything on the Star Wars front we need to talk about this week. Oh, there was. I forgot to send you guys the link for it. You might have seen it anyway, but there was an official trailer for Clayface today.
Oh, I did not see that.
It looks pretty neat. It looks kind of like a horror movie a little bit. It's the trailer's cut like one.
Seeing the very first trailer for that movie and thinking the exact same thing. Like this is spooky.
Yeah, so it's that. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm not sure. Just like everything else that's happening in the DC right now, I think no one really knows exactly where it fits in with the continuity because James Gunn is kind of redoing everything, but he's keeping some of the stuff before him. Like they're still doing the Robert Pattinson Batman, but which I don't know if we'll ever see that movie. They keep delaying it, but there's some of the old stuff that happened before James Gunn that he's holding on to for some reason, and then some stuff he's just erasing everything and starting fresh. So I'm not sure if Clayface is a that thing where it's like in the same universe as David Cornsweet's Superman, or if this is like a Robert Pattinson Batverse thing with Colin Farrell's Penguin and shit. So
I guess we'll find out when it gets here.
Who knows? Okay. Now, we are getting on to House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 5, which was the episode that happened just this last Sunday. Let's open up as we do with some spoiler-free musings and thoughts. Chris, do you want to start us out?
It does seem like the momentum is building towards resolution on a lot of these plot lines. Mm-hmm. Like we finally see some characters that we hadn't seen for an episode or two. There's some movements of armies and dragons, and the episode ends with a rather dramatic proclamation.
And Matt. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's the thing about Discord is like there's more of a delay than we're used to. So it's anyway.
But it does feel like we've crested the hill, and this rock is rolling down towards whatever the end is.
That potential energy has converted to kinetic energy, or is about to.
And there are no brakes on this boulder.
Matt, what did you think? Broadly and without spoilers. Give us something insightful and clever and hopefully funny. Just say something that'll change everyone's lives when they hear it.
Oh, yeah. No pressure. Well, speaking of this boulder that he said it's going to come crashing down, I think that I think something dramatic's going to happen soon. Something crazy, something that's going to shock us all. I don't know what.
That's kind of the Game of Thrones template.
Waiting for an epic Ned Stark moment.
Oh, speaking of which, so your husband came back from deployment, and you have been spreading the good word of Game of Thrones and watching it with him. And did you say that you were about to watch the Red Wedding episode, or you were?
I thought we were going to get to it tonight. But
you haven't?
We're one episode behind.
All right. Yeah. So well, next week make sure I ask you about it, because I'm curious to know what his reactions are. Okay. My spoiler-free thoughts about this is that this episode maybe could have been an email or a Raven, I suppose. And most Game of Thrones seasons has one of them that kind of like, it was not. There are important things that happen in this episode that set everything up and everything. But since this episode only has since the season only has 8 episodes, I find myself wondering maybe if they have time for some of this stuff and they shouldn't just like keep moving a little bit. And I know that a part of me, like, it's my lizard brain being like, I want to see dragon battles. I want to see fights. I want to see people, get, roasted and shit.
And shirtless men.
And shirtless men, yeah. But, this one was, all conversations and
kitties.
Yeah, a lot of kitties.
Look, Daniel, sometimes you need a little foreplay to make the action more real.
And I agree. I just kind of thought that's what the last episode was.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So I was still entertained. I just think that, like, out of the season so far, this is the one I was most like, this could have been an email or a text, I think. But anyway, shall we get going? We open up on the shot of a busted ass bridge that wasn't busted ass before now, but now is busted ass, right? And we've joined. We start the first part of the episode out here in the Riverman camp with Oscar Tully and the one crazy guy with the winter wolves, and then this guy whose name I can't exactly remember. It doesn't matter because he dies like 4 seconds after this. Oh, by the way, we're getting into spoilers. So if you've not seen House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 5, go and watch it and come back and let us know what you think. And then if you have seen it, let us know what you think anyway in the comments. And I'll try to read your comments kind of as we go along here. So
we're getting into spoilers, he says, after pronouncing that a character dies in 4 seconds.
Well, look, if I can't remember a character's name, he's not super important, because I know most of these guys' names. Like, I'm pretty good about shit like that. So the Rivermen have a problem, right? They need to get back to King's Landing, which I think would solve a lot of Rhaenyra's problems with some of the insurrection that's fomenting. And having the army there, I think, would help her out a lot. But and
also being able to send the army to Tumbleton to deal with that without unleashing the dragons.
True. So they're trying to get back quickly, but Criston Cole has started his guerrilla campaign, and has been burning bridges, and so they can't find a place to cross this big ass river. And so we open up with them kind of discussing this. And kind of like, lamenting how much of a pain in the ass Sir Crispy has been, which has been a defining characteristic of Sir Crispy pretty much since the beginning.
Yeah.
And the I will say this becomes more relevant as we get into some other scenes, but I'm kind of feeling like Sir Crispy has realized his character arc, and I think the use for his character has kind of disappeared a little bit. And I wouldn't be necessarily. This is my weekly my weekly statement that I've not read the book, so like I don't know anything in advance. But I feel like Sir Crispy's end is near because his character is. It's like do you remember in Game of Thrones, like going into the battle for Winterfell, there were characters who we were like, oh yeah, this character, like Sir Jorah Mormont. It's like this character has come to the end of his arc and he's probably going to die in this next episode. I have that same feeling about Sir Crispy.
Daniel, I would like to point out that at one point in this episode, a character looks at Sir Crispy, says, "If we do this, we're all going to die." Crispy says nothing, and then the other character says, "That was your plan all along, wasn't it?"
Yeah. Anyway, I think his time has come. So, and I know there are a lot of people, a lot of fans who are waiting for it excitedly.
With bated breath, perhaps?
Yeah, right.
He got all cocky this episode, too.
I don't think he's cocky so much as he is just fucking delusional. He's insane. I mean, he just,
either that or he's hit the samurai state of Zen of I am already dead. All that remains is to go through the action of dying.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that for him. If I'm being entirely honest. So anyway, they're trying to figure out what to do, and Oscar Tully puts his foot down and says, "But Criston Cole, I am past enduring. So what are we gonna do?" And the Stark guy is like, "Well, just let me let me take my old guys and go whoop his ass." And Oscar Tully's like, "Oh, I have a better idea. Let's beat him at his own game." And do some of the shit that he's doing. And they're like, okay, whatever. And right around then, I think in another part of the camp, Sir Crispy and Gwaine and some of the boys kind of mount a surprise attack and, burn down a part of the camp and everything. And they're just being generally irritating to Oscar Tully and his boys. So we get to Harrenhal. But I put the shot of the goat in here because I'm pretty sure that Alice Rivers is the goat.
That's a phrase that could have multiple meanings.
Yeah, but like literally, I think she's literally this goat and then just transforms.
I do not disagree.
Yeah. So here we've got fucking Dumb, Dumber, and Dumbest, who are sneaking through Harrenhal, as we know from the previous episodes. That the Queen has put out a bounty on Aemon Targaryen, and that he last seen at Harrenhal, and also whoever kills him or brings him to Rhaenyra will get to be Lord of Harrenhal. And so a lot of people now are like, "Oh, hell yeah,
I can kill Aemon Targaryen."
Yeah, he's only got one eye.
Spoilers: most of these people would not have a snowflake's chance in hell of killing Aemon Targaryen.
Yeah, and it's also why I think both of the groups that we run into in this episode all have like a group of 3 or more because they want to have the odds. So they run into Alice Rivers, who, God, she's got a way of making entrances, man. Like she just kind of melts out of the fucking shadows. And I did put this. I thought it was interesting that she called Rhaenyra the ungrateful queen. When she was lamenting the fact that people keep coming there to search, for Aemon and everything.
Yeah.
So I think that she's feeling a little burnt out by Rhaenyra. But she says some spooky things and is like, Harrenhal's full of ghosts and shit. Here's a rock. Watch this. Throws it over his shoulder, and fucking bats come out of everywhere, and it just scares the piss out of these guys. And it's like Scooby-Doo. They just fucking run the fuck away.
One nice touch is, like, we see Alice Rivers with all the bats coming. The camera cuts to a shot of the guys. It cuts back to where Alice was, and she's nowhere to be seen.
She has disappeared. It would have been just the best thing ever if the goat was just standing there when they turned back. I'm like, what the fuck?
You can't go confirming theories like that.
That's true. So Aemond, surprise, is actually at Harrenhal, as we knew, right?
Yeah.
And he wakes up and Alice is there and he's freaking out and he's talking about this dream that he had about his brother's face being on fire and shit, and then like, I don't know, so Alice is a woman who is kind to him, like in a maternal sense, and he just
Aemond has enormous issues from the fact that his mother never loved him.
Yeah. And so he like immediately kind of latches on to her. He's like, "Can you be my mother now?" And she's
Oedipus, like, "My name is Aemond."
Yeah. So in the Red Keep, the fruits of Alan and Rhaenyra's conversation about how to get rid of the rats has kind of like, it's here. They have cats everywhere.
Which, honestly, if I had a medieval castle that was full of rats, I would also bring in cats, because they're basically the most adorable solution to the problem.
Yeah, and I don't know how they didn't think of this before, but anyway, it's just kind of cool that now there are cats everywhere, and I don't know, Matt, you're a cat guy. When you see Grand Maester Orwyle here, kind of like trying to avoid the cats, do you think he's a cat person, or do you think he's a person that kicks cats when no one's looking?
I don't think he would be bobbing and weaving if he.
Yeah, he's because that cat's like, "Come over here and pet me." And he's like, "Oh God," and like jumps out of the way. So he is on his way to go see Alicent. And he talks to the guard, and the guard's like, "He can't come in here," and he's like, "Well, it's a really sensitive female stuff." And the guard's like, "Ew, God," and then just like, "Fine, I don't want to talk about this anymore." And he gets in, and he's talking to Alicent, and he is there to give her some morning after tea, which we know from the last episode, Helena's pregnant.
Yes.
And I guess this is... Oh, I looked into this, by the way. I'm probably on a list somewhere now, but I was really curious about, like, if a tea could be brewed to do this. And I suppose in the text, George R.R. Martin like lists the ingredients of this tea, but is really vague about like how to make. Like he doesn't like give exact measurements or anything. And some of it's based off of real world stuff that isn't necessarily confirmed as aborting a pregnancy, but will certainly give you irreversible liver damage and kill you.
Well, I think it was the ancient Romans, it might have been the Greeks, had an abortifacient plant that is now extinct, I believe. But there was a time when there was an herb that could deal with this particular problem.
Yeah. So anyway,
Oh, I just said wow.
Yeah.
That was all.
So Orwyle is like, "Well, here's the morning after tea. By the way, it's getting really hard for me to sneak in here. So, like, from now on, I'm going to have to report."
So you brazen hussies better not have any more unprotected sex, okay?
Right, yeah, because the next time I come in here, I'm going to have to tell the queen and everything. And I did put this in here specifically because it does appear that Alicent and Orwyle have kind of a special, like, trust. And he seems pretty loyal to her. And it makes me think probably more so than he is to Rhaenyra. Maybe something we want to, like, remember later. So here's the problem. Helena doesn't want to take the morning after tea. And like Alicent tries to tell her, like, look, if it's a boy, you understand the problem, right? Like, that's Aegon's son. It would be, his heir and everything, and Rhaenyra will have to kill him. And they do. There's this goofy, or not goofy. there is this line about how like, you know, Aemon's still alive. As far as we don't know where the fuck he is. And then Helena's like, he's at Harrenhal. And she was like, no, I mean, he was there, but like he's gone now. And it's just this neat thing where like Helena, because of her like mystical brain powers or whatever, like knows where he is. So she tries to force Helena to take this tea, and she just will not have it. So, she did mention, she's like, girl, when I was fucking Sir Crispy Cole, this tea saved me from disgrace and ruin. When Rhaenyra was fucking Sir Crispy Cole, it saved her from disgrace and ruin. Like, this is the you know, it's a tried and tested method. You should do it.
Which Helena should have responded. Counterpoint: I was not fucking Sir Criston Cole.
Yeah, it was my brother, but at least we were married.
My brother husband.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. I had almost forgotten about this. So, in season 2,
yeah, the Jace goes out to make a deal so that the Northmen can cross the river, and these people are like, well, what the fuck do we get from this? And then they're having tea over a table that's a door.
Yeah, it was really weird. Without his mother's permission, by the way. Just went off and did some diplomacy all on his own, got a deal, and it has come back to haunt Rhaenyra a little bit, where Lady Frey, this is Walder Frey's ancestor, by the way, is like, hey, like we're supposed to get Harrenhal, and now what? And Rhaenyra's like, look, I called you here to be on my small council. Is that like not enough for your loyalty? Because that's a pretty fucking sweet gig.
Also, if you really want Harrenhal, just go fucking find and kill Aemon.
Yeah, go kill Aemon. Yeah, and she, like, this woman's like, well, like, am I supposed to go do that? Because I don't think that'll work. So Rhaenyra pretty much is like, you know, it's, I don't know the deal that you struck up with Jacaerys, and you know, I didn't really know about it. So like, you know, it's, are you going to be on the council or not? And she's like, yes. And then I love this, like, this look afterwards from her Kingsguard guy, who's like, yeah, I'm fucking watching you, old lady.
It's like, I could stab you so hard right now, and you would be dead, and I would laugh.
I just like how this Queensguard guy is like, you know, he's like, he's very pro Rhaenyra. I enjoy it. Here's another shot of a cat. All the kitties I wanted to put in this, to put in our slideshow because they're all really cute.
As well, you should.
Yeah. So there's a town called Wendish Town. It's a small village on the outskirts that has been burned. And so Bela and Adam are back because they've been going on patrols and shit. And so they've reported back. So they know, like, they're pretty sure that Vhagar was the one that burned it because she was eating. And there's this hilarious bit where Torn Manderly is like trying to catch Lady Frey up on who everyone is, but they're both like, he's such an asshole that he probably is a little too unfiltered around them.
He thinks he's being real subtle, but Daemon just gives him the stink eye.
I know. I put that shot in here. So he's like, yeah, so that's the sea snake, the sea snake's bastard, and he's got a dragon now. And the white worm over here, she's here, and she's like, isn't she a whore? And he's like, yeah, no, she is. She totally is. And then like Daemon is looking over at them like,
he looks so sassy in this.
Yeah, look, some teachers, when their classroom is being noisy, give a look to kids who are being noisy to tell them to shut the fuck up. And this is the exact look Daemon is giving them, who is like, do you mind, you motherfuckers?
I'll wait.
Yeah. This does shut them up. So Daemon has another problem, which is that they had some gold cloaks killed the previous night. And there was a little spat. And there are all of these problems. Rhaenyra, like, the second they said Vhagar, that's the only thing she's thinking about. But everyone's got problems, right? Daemon's guys, two of them were killed. None of them are being paid right now. The crown is out of money. Mysaria is trying to advance the small folk, you know, agenda, and really the only thing Rhaenyra cares about is getting a hold of Aemond and killing Vhagar and killing Aemond. And so she's very distracted by that. This look that Mysaria gives him, he's like, so where were the gold cloaks murdered? And he's like, Flea Bottom. He's like, oh yeah, Flea Bottom. That's where the pores live. And like Mysaria gives him this look like, ugh, I really hate you. Oh right. Orwyle reports back on the Rivermen's army's progress, which has been slowed by Sir Crispy. And there's a little bit of tension also that Rhaenyra sends Baela and Addam back out, and Addam's like, well, Baela hasn't eaten or slept, to which Baela immediately is like, excuse me, I can take care of myself. I'm perfectly ready to do whatever is needed. And there is this clear tension in the room between Rhaenyra and Baela. Baela is invaluable to her. She's an experienced dragon rider. She's really good at it. But Rhaenyra is still in her mind really pissed off about the little bit of treason that Jacaerys tried to spring on her, and Baela was kind of a part of it. So yeah, so there's still that tension, and Addam's like, look, guys, I don't know why you're so pissed off at each other, but like, we need to be able to eat and sleep. So she's like, fine, you guys go take a nap. I'll send Daemon. And Daemon's like, I'll go once my thing is taken care of, which really pisses Rhaenyra off because she, when the queen gives an order,
she's the queen,
right? Yeah, and he's like, I'll do it later. I've got more important shit. And yeah, so fucking Lady Frey is like, this is crazy. Is it always this crazy? And he's like, it is more or less all this crazy. Yeah. And so Rhaenyra calls Daemon on his. She's like, look, I know we've had this talk about 900 times, but like, I'm the queen, right? Like you're like, you work for me. And he's like, I do, I get it, but like, this is a problem. Also, you came down really hard on the small folk with the gold cloaks over some graffiti, pretty much, that really shouldn't be on your radar. You shouldn't really care about this shit at all. And she's like, but I do care about it. Her servant is like, hey, Prince Joffrey is here from the Vale, because if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, she sent for Joffrey a couple of episodes because he's the new crown prince, right?
Yes.
So he has to be like, taught how to be a king now
and watch out for him, right, and all that shit.
Curiously, Rhaenyra does not go to her son immediately, and she's like, I'll go see him later, a little bit later. The news of Vhagar being sighted at Wendish Town has gotten around even to Varys and Aegon, and Aegon is immediately like, we're going to Wendish Town, we're gonna kill Vhagar, or we're gonna kill Aemond. And Varys is like, that's dumb. Your brother is a renowned fighter, and isn't a broke ass bitch like you are right now, who is basically broken in half, and we're out here alone, and you have no armies, and
and you are extra crispy, and he is not.
Right, like he would whoop your ass. Like, what do you expect? And he's like, I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't matter so much, just that I try to kill him, and if the attempt kills me, fine, and if it doesn't, I'll kill him, and that's also fine. To which Varys is like,
Larys.
What did I say?
You said Varys.
Oh God, yeah, it's not Varys. Though those characters are pretty similar, actually. So Mysaria has gotten word that Grand Maester Orwyle has been hanging out with Alicent. So she goes and asks her about it. And she's like, oh, well, Helena's not feeling well, so we got some headache tea. And Mysaria's like,
can I see it?
Yeah, I see that none of the tea is missing. so you haven't taken it yet. And she's like, okay, look.
Well, no, she knows that it's the morning after tea because like she sniffs it, and Alicent straight up says, yeah, okay, look, after Viserys died, I had some side action.
Yeah.
You get what it's like. We don't have to talk about this, do we?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, it's all there. And Alicent's like, well, it's I asked for this, but it's still a very weighty and difficult thing to do,
Right. Yeah. I guess I better drink it.
No time like the present.
Glug glug glug. Which we're all cringing because she doesn't need it, Mysaria is still after that is still like looking like
she's still a little suspicious.
Yeah. Interesting little thing here that connects to another scene in this episode, where Sir Gawain is talking to Sir Crispy, and was like, "Hey, have you ever seen Hightower in Old Town? Ormond and I used to have this game where we'd run the tower, right? We would start before dawn, we'd run up, and whoever was the first one. And I let him win all the time, right? And so he's like, look, I'm gonna level I'm gonna level with you. I'm telling you all this because you're a knight of high renown. We can go to Old Town right now, join my family service, and you will be taken care of. And this is an easy out, right? You come with me, we'll be night bros together, and we can finally get the fuck out of these woods because we've been here for weeks, and my ass is chapped from these pants I haven't changed in weeks. Can we please be done with our camping hunting trip and go home? And Sir Crispy, seems to, I guess, consider it. But they come across some trouble. Like horses just start collapsing, and someone rigged the area with these like little like
caltrops.
Yeah, right. Like I think they call them crow's feet.
Yes.
And then Alicent.
So Alicent looks at her necklace and she's scheming some things.
Yeah. Some problems.
Daemon's walking through the flea bottom with his gold cloak captain, and they're talking about how if Daemon can just talk to the men, he'll rally them to the cause and get them loyal again. And then,
I do like how this is Daemon's idea. He's like, back in the day, I just give a rousing speech and everything will be fine. And he's like, when's the last time you were even in charge of the gold cloaks? Because I gotta tell you, like most of those guys were just little babies when you were in charge. So I'm not sure that would have the impact that you think it would have. And then they stumble across a couple more bodies, which it looks like the killer's MO is to cut the throat and then tear out their bowels.
Yeah,
and,
disembowel.
Yeah. So did you recognize this guy?
I did not.
His face stuck with me for a little bit. There was something about his face that seemed really familiar to me, and I went and did some research. The reason his face stuck with me is because this guy has heterochromia, so his eyes are two different colors.
Okay.
And then I remembered that a couple of episodes ago when Alicent and Helena go up on the battlements to tell the Scorpion guys to stand down, he's one of those guys up there.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like one of those guys that they told to stand down. So
interesting.
Yeah, so a little kid watches Daemon and Sir Luther's reaction, and then runs up and tells him, and he's like, "Good, everything's going to plan." And then he throws his raven out, and then sometime later, a scroll arrives for Ormond that says, "Gold blood spilled, 3 marked in the tally. The account lies open." And Ormond's like, "Great." So Ormond is confirmed behind this gold cloak thing that's happening. He's spinning some kind of web. He has a conversation with Daemon or Daeron about he's taken history lessons, right? And
family history specifically,
right? Yeah. I think the important thing about this scene is that Daeron is really obviously a victim of abuse.
Yes.
It in a more subtle way than you would think. It isn't. There is probably a physical aspect to it, but it's more insidious than just like straight out physical abuse. And he is constantly on guard around Ormond. And like, so they talk a little bit about the Martell woman, Maria Martell, maybe the Yellow Toad of Dorne, who basically resisted Aegon's conquest and won, and that's why Dorne isn't a part of the Seven Kingdoms, because they're independent, they do their own thing, because like Aegon came in with 3 dragons and was like submit, and then the Martells were like fuck off, and they actually they did something pretty similar to what Sir Crispy is doing right now. They like use guerrilla warfare and shit. That they're like dragons couldn't just come out and destroy all of them like by like brute force. And yeah, so Aegon's like, okay, fine, you guys just stop being crazy and we'll stop bothering you. All the while they're playing this chess game, right? And Daeron makes a move that I assume probably wins him the game,
or gives him a big advantage.
Yeah, and he is just like most kids in situations like this where they're abused, is so keyed in on Ormond's body language and realizes that he's about to freak out, that he like he was like, hey, I take it back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Right. Let me take that move back. Yeah. We'll start the game again. Yeah. And then Ormond just fucking knocks all the pieces off the board.
What a fucking child, you know.
Stands up, walks around behind Daeron, puts his hands on his shoulders, and then says, never apologize for victory.
Yeah.
Which is such an abusive and manipulative series of things to do.
Right. It is. It's gross. I feel really bad for Daeron. He seems like a really sweet boy, and he deserves better than this fuckwad. He should be hanging out with fucking Gwaine in Old Town, and they should be playing lutes and practice sword fighting and having fun and shit. And here he is with Ormond fucking I can't deal with smells Hightower, you know. He does, so Ormond shows him some coins he had made, and it's like, hey, look, they just came in with the business cards.
It's your face.
Yeah.
Look at that, because you're the king.
Kind of, he looks more like a hobbit on the coin, but I guess, you know, in the Iron Age civilization, you know.
They're doing the best they can,
right.
Okay?
I get it. So, okay. Alicent has hatched a plan, right?
Yes.
And so yeah, they're gonna try to escape because all the stuff that's happening, like tensions are high, so like they need the guard, like the family guards, to go help with the city watch, and so they're only gonna be guarded by one person. And so she's like, I gave my pretty necklace to the maid, and she's gonna help us escape out of the hidden door in Aemon's chamber, which is being used by Baela, and they can get in there because Baela's out on her mission to find Vhagar.
So everything's perfect.
Yeah.
And
this is really heartbreaking, by the way, when she asks the door that the men used when they came to kill my boy. I was like, Helena, you poor perfect girl. I'm so sorry.
She has done nothing wrong and had so much inflicted upon her.
Yeah. She does ask about her daughter, and surprisingly, the best mother in the world says, "Leave her. We can't risk getting found out, so we'll just leave her here." And Helena's like, "No, I don't think we will." Fucking Alicent, mother of the year. So Adam and Baela check out. What town did I say it was? Fucking,
I don't know.
Wiggletown. I don't know. Some fucking little town. Yeah.
Extra Crispyville.
Right. Which is extra crispy. It's been burned, and all the sheep have been eaten and shit. And so the point of this conversation. Okay, so do you guys think there's a romance brewing between Adam and Baela, or Alan and Baela, or are they gonna do like a throuple? Do you think?
I don't I wouldn't go that far, but these two definitely. There's
Something's
something
happening.
smoldering.
I mean, he got a little flirty with her, right? Or was I just imagining that?
No, he definitely did.
Okay, yeah. So Bela laments her position right now, which is, you know, like she did
I
this
was
thing with
maybe responsible for Jace dying.
right. She did admit that she was like, look, I wanted to be a badass. I wanted to go in there and save the day, and it was my pride, and now I'm being punished for it. And so basically, what's probably going to happen is I'm going to get married off to some ancient lord, who has enough money to pay off Rhaenyra's debts and make the crown whole again. And Adam says, well, if that happens, I'll come and find you, and we'll fly off to exile together. And you're like, all right, that's a pretty good line. That would probably work on me. So back at Harrenhal, Aemon wakes up again. Well, actually, Aemon has a little vision of Vhagar and wakes up and is trying to figure out where Vhagar is and is insisting that Vhagar wouldn't abandon him. And
Alice Rivers is just sitting there sewing or doing
she's like doing needlepoint or something. That woman contains multitudes.
I mean, everybody needs a hobby.
Yeah, I bet she has several. I bet she has like some of her really weird hobbies. I bet she has just like some really basic innocent ones like needlepoint, or like she probably has a scrapbook or something. So at the end of this conversation, Aemon admits the fear that he's like really probably self-conscious about, which is that he feels like without Vhagar he's nothing, and then kind of talks about how Aemon really Aegon really picked on him when they were kids and everything, and Alice is like, don't worry, I'm your mommy now, and he's like, oh, thank God. Okay. Aegon.
I loved this scene.
It
so
is.
much.
I put in every line of this in the slideshow because I thought it was so good. Maybe a little hypocritical, but really good. Aegon, of course, is lamenting how terrible everything is, and woe is me, and I everything's so bad.
My life sucks.
Yeah, I'm a pathetic crapple. And then Larys goes on this fucking. I put in this line for a line. All this time we've been together, from the moment you were injured, in fact, flying drunk into a battle to which you were not invited, you've done nothing but whinge and self-flagellate with a tenacity I find astounding. And when he says this sentence, I was like, it's just, he pulls the words right out of our mouths.
Yeah,
right?
What an insult.
Yeah. It's just like, you can tell he would have never dared.
He's been waiting so long to say this.
No. He's been thinking about these words for quite a long time. You who had every advantage in life, you who had every chance to shine, firstborn son, prince of the realm, the finest tutors, the finest knights instructing you in the sword, a dragon so beautiful they named him after the sun, you could have risen to greatness. And at the mention of Sunfire, Aegon looks down at the scale that he took from his body. But instead, you trampled your birthright in the mud, you lazed, reveling in mediocrity, fucking anything in sight, and drinking yourself into oblivion with your sycophantic friends. I will tell you the truth. You were a terrible king, but worse than that, you were a terrible man. And when he says this, I was like, okay, no, that is undoubtedly correct. But also, Larys, you are a terrible man as well. Like,
also, girl, you're in danger. Like, if you ever get Aegon into a position of power, he is not going to forget this little speech.
Right. I just he's saying all this and it's like, no, I agree with all that shit. But also,
no, he's right.
Yeah, I start thinking, Well, okay, so look, liking feet is not inadvertently terrible, right? The arrangement that he had with Alicent, where he was trading information and exercising a power dynamic for feet pics, is terrible. him having his oldest brother and his father murdered at Harrenhal is terrible.
I forgot about that.
Like Larys isn't a good guy either. So, that's I guess we're from where Aegon's sitting. If you're being such a little shit that
Larys fucking Strong
calls you out,
yeah,
right. So that's where they leave that conversation. There's this hilarious bit here. So Rhaenyra goes to the Sept. I think she just wants to be seen there, respecting the gods and everything. And
this is also a throwback to a scene from the very first season. Might have been the first episode where young Rhaenyra was praying on this exact same set.
Well, Alicent was. And she came in and prayed with her, but her whole demeanor was kind of like, this is fake. None of this shit is real. So she's here now, hoping, I think, that people will see her, trying to make an effort, Yeah,
because she still wants to win over the Sept and get
anointed or whatever.
Yeah. The holy reception for her taking the throne.
There's this hilarious bit where we hear laughter, and we know it's Daemon without even having to see him. We know it's Daemon. And this next look on her face, where she's like,
"This fucking guy."
Yeah. So Daemon comes in, and she's like, "Look, we got a piece of small people and everything. Can you just fucking sit down here and pray with me?" And she's like, and Daemon's like, "Fine." And so he sits down and he tells her, he's like, "Look, more gold cloaks are dying," and they're talking about this. They have a big problem right here at home in their front yard that they need to figure out. This is not an enemy they're used to fighting. It's not something you can just kill with a dragon. There is something formless and kind of insidious after them. And I do like this line where Daemon's like, "Well, what did you expect? You're a woman. There are always going to be people who want to see you fail just because you're a woman." So they kind of talk about a little bit about what to do. Rhaenyra laments, the fact that she doesn't know what's happening at Tumbleton. The crown is poor. Their army is having trouble getting back and everything. And something's in the shadow. She can feel it, but she doesn't know what it is. And then she goes off on in her frustration, goes off on Daemon and says, "You are Daemon Targaryen, the bold and cunning, and here you stand outdone." And this look that Daemon gives her, it was like, "You better be glad I love you. I'll allow that, but I'm not happy about it." And so he gets up and leaves. I feel like Gwain's experience embedded in the Sir Crispy Cole army of, I don't know, whatever, the nihilism or whatever the fuck he's into these days, is just getting progressively worse and worse. The time he's having, he's just completely over it. He wants to go home.
It makes me think of Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, it is. It's like the kind of warfare they're doing too. Is they're out in the fucking jungle and everything is uncomfortable, and Gwain is like, "Look, can we just go home?" Half. I think they have. I think he said that fewer than half of their original host is left.
Yeah,
and they just don't have the advantage they thought they'd have. And he's like, "Can we just please go?" I do love this bit.
Larys has gone all the way back to the castle they were in. Aegon slinks in, sits down next to him, is like, "Just hire the fucking ship and let's get out of here."
Yeah. I do. I love this for comedic effect. He sits down and they just kind of they
a beat where they don't look at each other.
Yeah. And as a reward, Larys gives him the apple. Right. Oh, hold on a second. I was trying to figure out what that sound was, but okay. He hands him an apple and he's like, good boy. And then they look up and Larys says, 7 hells. And who is it, Chris?
This fucking guy. Who I thought died in the Battle of the Gullet, but
we thought so. I think we know that Jason Lannister was beheaded and head was put on a pike. So this is Tyland, who is the master of ships. He was a part of that battle. He got thrown over by Lohar, and and he apparently made it out.
Managed to wriggle out of his heavy plate armor and swim.
Yeah. So Alicent and Helena make their break. Apparently Alicent lied.
Because there was
Helena.
no other way to get Helena to agree to it, right?
Yeah. And so she's like, "Hey, like Jaehaera is supposed to be here," and she's like, "Oh, she's they're gonna
she'll be there.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep going."
Yeah. So, and of course Mysaria is like waiting for them.
Very good at her job.
Yeah. Like I like how she's sitting up on the stairs, like my, what do we have here?
Look what the cat's dragged in.
So she puts it together, right? So she's like, all right. So Helena's the pregnant one. Okay, this is starting to make sense to me. I'm gonna go tell the queen. And Alicent's like, well, before you do that, let me just
just hear me out here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If you tell Rhaenyra what's going on, we're completely screwed. If you don't tell her, we'll owe you a favor.
Yeah.
So you can pretend, you can go to Rhaenyra and tell her nothing's going on, and she won't know any better. So you'll be making both sides happy, and you'll come out ahead. Because you can come to us and ask me for something, and I will of course help you.
Yeah. Also, I'll point out to you that as much as Rhaenyra would not admit it, she and Daemon are more or less the same person. They're different sides of the same coin. And she says, like, her attention now might be on you, and you're bathing in the warm light of Rhaenyra, but like, she's a fucking dragon rider, and those guys are fucking crazy. So, are you sure you don't want to have some kind of insurance policy? Now, like I said, I've not read the books, and I've avoided spoilers, but apparently this interaction is extraordinarily
significant,
profound. Yeah, it's there's some kind of foreshadowing that's happening here that I don't know about. But Helena says that she wants to see the moon, and then Alicent says the window will have to do. Which, like I said, I've not read the book. I don't want to know what happens, but from what I can tell, with like some of the comments that were made, there's something really important about that exchange. So Joffrey is laying in bed. It turns out he tried to stay awake for his mama to come and see him, but he fell asleep. And Rhaenyra seems apprehensive.
Yeah.
To talk to him.
I think
almost like she's traumatized.
Yeah, by her other two dead sons.
Yeah.
It's really sad, and it's I don't know. Okay, so. Back in Sir Crispy Cole's our army of languish, they reached the same little town that Vhagar had burned several days ago. So they just missed like Adam and Baela, by the way, which is funny because if Adam and Baela found them, they would have torched all of them like immediately. So they got pretty lucky. Yeah. So they get there. It starts raining. Shit is just really bad. Like one guy dies, or he falls over, and they just leave him there. And they're just fucking leave him. This is the face of a man who is never going camping again. He's gonna get back to Old Town. He's gonna get into his room, and he's like, "I'm never leaving this place.
I am never touching grass again."
Yeah. Right. So a new group of Dumber and Dumbest.
These four dumbasses climb up the cliff at Harrenhal to get to this tree.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, let's go find Aemon Targaryen. And then
they go
who
through the
should
gods
they encounter but fucking Alice Rivers?
Yeah. Who, like I said, this woman has a knack for just appearing in the right place with the and looking as creepy or mystical as possible. So she does kind of make a show of being annoyed by how many people are showing up to find Aemon and everything. And this group is a little more aggressive and a little less scared of her. So they of course get a little rapey, and Aemon shows up and cuts him down.
No, that's my mom.
Yeah, that's my new mom. Fuck off. he kills all of them, and there's this really funny comedy beat where he gets hit a couple times, and but he prevails. He shish kebabs the one guy like right on the Godswood.
Yeah.
And then
Alistair's like, hey, seems like you've gotten a lot better.
Right. Okay. So Laris and Tyland are kind of discussing like what to do. And there's this hilarious bit where Tyland is like, look, I've been across the narrow sea to Essos. That place fucking sucks. Like, it's hot and sticky and gross. There are monkeys fucking everywhere, which is funny because like that episode in season 2 opened with a monkey when they were in Essos. And he's like, look, I've lived with them, like I've eaten with them, fought with them, shared everything with them, even their trailed off and then gives this look because you might remember that in season 2 he agreed to fuck Lohar's wives.
Yes.
So he apparently followed through with that too. So I guess
excellent 1,000-yard stare on this man.
Yeah, and I wonder now if like
that's a man having flashbacks right there.
Right. I mean, he probably had a good time doing it. I don't know, but I just imagine that like in I don't think they were in Pentos. There's somewhere in Essos. There's this like branch, this unofficial branch of the Lannister family, through these wives that he, while they're having this conversation, the leader of the camp or whatever like sneaks in and looks in Aegon's bag, and Tyland does float, taking him to Lannisport, which would make Lannisport the seat of the king, which would obviously elevate the Lannisters quite a lot, which Laris immediately calls out. And then the leader of the camp finds Aegon's crown, the Conqueror's crown, and Aegon immediately kills him. Just like
pulls out the fucking dragon scale and fucking stabs him in the gut.
Yeah, and finishes with, "You may call me your grace." And I love this look where Laris is like, "Son of a bitch, this guy! Oh my god!"
It's like, get off my plane. Oh.
Yeah, get off my plane. So Daemon shows up to the Gold Cloak base and gives them the rousing speech that he promised. And then starts.
By the way, once I am able to go out and conquer and bring back all the money, you guys are getting first cut.
He gets a little. We see the scope of Daemon's ambition in this speech. In the years to come, as Dorne finally bends the knee, as Rhaenyra's great empire grows, and the 7 kingdoms become 9, become 12, become the new Valyria. Like, Daemon is out to conquer the fucking world with his dragons.
He's out to make the fucking Roman Empire with dragons.
Yes. Okay, so Crispy's army of Languish has reached the river, and the Rivermen have done exactly to Crispy what they did to them, which is they destroyed the bridge when they crossed it. And this is like game over, because like how the fuck are they going to cross even? And so they don't even know what to do. Gwaine, like something like the light just goes out of Gwaine's eyes. Like he's just
like, all right, for real this time. Yeah. We have lost. Let's just go home. Yeah. Speaking of light going out of eyes.
Oh yeah, eyes coming out of eyes. They caught a suspect for the Gold Cloak killings. They got this guy.
And Daemon has popped one of his eyes out, and then they're like, "All right, let's start again."
It makes
Who are you working for?
Like it makes that like sound. He just like plucks it right out. And so he's like, the guy that hired me said it was the king, but not fucking not Aegon. It's Daeron, the new king. Look at my boot. There's a coin in there. And so he pulls out one of the coins that Ormond was showing Daeron, and so like this is kind of probably a weird thing for Daemon to discover, where he's like, what? Like, why are they trying to elevate Daeron to being king? That's kind of like unexpected,
really
right?
Weird.
Yeah. So okay, Gawain's like, look, cards on the table. This is all really fucked up. Like, let's go back to Old Town and be bros. And of course, Sir Crispy waxes poetic about. He says that he's the greatest warrior in Westeros. And is pretty much says what you were telling us earlier when we were talking about his intentions, right? Like what
I'm gonna fucking go down in history as the crazy motherfucker who led 10 dudes against 2,000.
Yeah,
and they're gonna remember me forever.
Right, they'll sing songs about me and everything, and like Gawain's like, we have 7 men, Crispy. They have like 40,000, and he's like, we will join them in battle. And Gawain's like, you're fucking crazy. Daemon brings back the coin to Rhaenyra and was like, hey, I told you we should have burned them alive, by the way. Remember when I said that? Well, here we go. Here's another problem we have.
Guess who's always right? It's me.
Yeah, it's Daemon's always right. Here's another thing we have to juggle now. You know, Ormond has declared Dare on the king, and she's just like, why? What a weird fucking thing for them to do. Like, that does not make any sense. Sir Crispy Cole tries to give the dudes a rousing speech, and while this is happening, Helena discovers that their room has a secret passage, which the cat finds.
Yeah.
And so they open that door to see where it goes.
Only to discover.
Well, hold on. So during this speech, while he's trying to like rouse the men, Gawain
he's getting all religious and calling on the 7 gods that are
right.
going to give their blessings.
The smith will make us strong, and the mother will I don't know, we'll think about her titties, and you know, and Gawain is like, nope.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Going home. See you later. You guys have fun with your war. I am fuck this shit. I'm out. Right. So Daemon goes to see Sir Luther at the Gold Cloak base, and nobody is there.
Discovers a trail of blood.
Yeah. Helena and Alicent go into the passageway. They find that it's blocked by a bunch of blocks. And the door that they came through closed behind them, so they can't go back that way either. So they're like, I guess they're just kind of trapped in there. And of course, Helena like drops the light, and so like the light goes off. And then Daemon finds this. It's honestly the last. It's like, kind of like the Last Supper, right?
This display of dead gold cloaks.
Yeah. And it's pretty grisly and gross, and the writing on the wall behind them is a feast for traitors. And Daemon is, well, first of all, Luther was his bro.
Yeah.
Right? And when they needed him the most, when they took King's Landing and they were confronted with all those Queensguard, or the Kingsguard, the Gold Cloaks and Sir Luther showed up and had his back. And so this is an enormous blow to him, you know. And what we know about Daemon is that when he starts to feel like he's backed into a corner, generally Daemon doesn't think things through and doesn't think, you know, he's not like, okay, how do we fix this problem? He generally just is insane.
Daemon Targaryen behaving rashly.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Right. So, and that's how the episode ends.
Crispy gives the last line of his speech, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. So I imagine whatever conflict Crispy is headed toward is probably in the next episode. Whatever crazy shit Daemon's about to freak out and do is coming.
And kill someone.
Yeah, you're right. He's gonna do something insane because that's just how he reacts to things. Dan the Man says, I thought Sir Luther died. Is Dream? Was it Dream? I think they might have met.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's a dream. Yeah, And then Benali says, what state do you live in? I don't know why you need that information. I'm not going to answer that.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, we will be back next week to talk about the next episode at our normal time at 7:30. It's way too late for me to be doing a podcast right now. But you guys have any closing thoughts on this before we're done?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
No.
All right.
Except, I'm excited to see what Aemond and Alice Rivers get up to now.
Yeah. All right. Well, join us next week, 7:30 on Wednesday. We'll talk about House of the Dragon again. And thanks for being here, and thanks for the chats and the support, and we'll see you guys later.